Perfect. All right. So this morning, as I mentioned, we're going to walk through creating e-newsletters, the email blast that we can send out through Command to our database. Right now in Command, we don't have a monthly newsletter type drip campaign that we did in eEdge. We do have Smart Plans and the monthly neighborhood nurture and bi-monthly neighborhood nurture, which I think provide some great content, but I know there's a lot going on in the world that you want to be able to send a beautiful stylized email blasts to your database. So before we do anything, we want to check our settings and make sure that we have our Command email set up properly and our MailChimp account. So to do that, in the top right-hand corner where you see your name, click on the drop-down menu here and select Settings. And this will take us to all of our connected apps, so we can just double check and make sure everything is connected and good to go. So I'm going to scroll all the way down to our email services. So the first one here is Command Email. And Command Email is the free email service that's included as a part of Command. It was originally called MailJet. They've rebranded to Command Email. You actually don't have to connect or do anything for this. It's automatically connected for you. But you do want to click on Manage here. And this way you can confirm what your sender name will be and what your reply email address is. So when you're sending out emails, if your command is set up maybe as William, but you want your sender name to actually show up as Bill or Will, you can change that here and then also update your reply email as well. And then once you're good there, you can click Save Changes and you are set up and good to go. The next is MailChimp. So as a part of an agent with KW, you get a free MailChimp account. And that gives you the access to send emails to up to 2,000 people and 5,000 emails per month, which is pretty great because the MailChimp product does cost money, so you get that for free. So you can set up an account here. You can click on Create Account. I've already set mine up, so I'll just click on Manage and make sure everything's good to go. Perfect. Now we want to make sure that our MailChimp is set up first before we jump in and start creating a campaign, because we're going to connect our contacts from Command into MailChimp. Perfect. So now we're good to go here. So I'm going to go back to the Command home screen. Now, one thing I want to point out that I just said a second ago was that you are allowed to email up to 2,000 contacts, but you're only allowed one audience in MailChimp. So I don't know how familiar you are with MailChimp, but when you upload contacts, it starts to put them into different audiences, and that way you can send out targeted messages to specific audiences. We're only allowed one audience with our free account. If you already have an audience in MailChimp, the Command system won't let you create a new audience. So before we even start anything with Command, let's jump into MailChimp and double check and make sure that we don't have any audiences already set up. So I'm going to do that by, let me click on New Tab. That will come to MailChimp. So I'm going to log into the account that I had, that I created. Perfect. So click over here under my name, audience. All right, so I have my audience of June newsletter. I can come over here to the right-hand side of this drop-down menu that says Manage Audience, and I can click on View Audiences. And this is going to show me all the audiences that I have. So right now, I just have one, which is my June newsletter. The reason I recommend you go ahead and check your audiences here, because you may unknowingly have an audience created for you of just yourself, and that will give you an error message in Command. So double check your audiences, and we want to delete this. So I'm going to select this and click delete. I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to type delete in all caps and then click delete. Perfect. So now this lets me know that I do not have any audiences in MailChimp, so I'm good to go, that I can start creating that audience out of Command. So I'm going to come back into Command. All right. All right, so to get started here, we're going to create a new campaign. So we'll come over here to the megaphone, and that is the megaphone icon for campaigns. And we'll let this load. So it's going to load the dashboard. So it just kind of gives us a quick overview of all the campaigns that we have run in the last month. And then I'm going to click on create a new campaign in the top right hand corner. And I'm going to select the email option because today we want to send out that e-newsletter. So select email. And then what I love about Command is they make everything just a step-by-step process, very simple. So I always recommend you start at the top of the page and work our way down. So we'll give this a name. So today we'll name this July Training Newsletter. And then what's our goal? So select a goal that's most relevant. It's not going to affect the delivery. It's really more just so you can get an idea of how you can send out different types of emails or set up different types of campaigns. So today we want to do just a brand awareness, or we can do event awareness. Let's say we want to host a supplies drive for kids going back to school. So we'll do an event awareness, and then we want our campaign to run on MailChimp. Now you can run HTML emails through Command, and I'll show you how to do that in just a moment. But I want to show you how to do MailChimp first, since it is going to be a little bit more in depth of a process. So we'll click on Setup Campaign. All right, so an internal error occurred. So hopefully this will continue to let me work in here. So now we're going to configure our email. So we'll just kind of start at the top and work our way down. So it says, we're going to use our campaign name. We're using MailChimp. We're going to select our account, which is the account that I created through Command. Our recipient list. So I'll see here, I don't have any recipient list. And this is going to be one of the most important parts of creating your e-newsletter, is creating the recipient list. So MailChimp knows who to send this email blast to. So we need to create our list. So click on Create List. And then we'll just kind of start at the top and work our way down. So we'll give this a list name. So I'm going to name this July Training Newsletter list. Default subject. If you have a default subject, so I can just do Training Newsletter. The default subject is just here in case that you forget to put an actual subject on your email. This will have a subject for you. Then we have our default from email address, which is going to be pre-populated from the account. Our default from name, so I want to update this here. And then now we're going to add contacts. So we can select contacts here. So this from the drop down, if I want to manually add individual people, I can start searching their name, and I can add contacts that way. Depending on the number of people you have in your database, that is going to take a long time, a very long time. So what I would recommend is when you're setting up your database, you create custom tags. And that way you can start to add a bulk group of people at a time, depending on the tags and the relevancy. So let's say I want to create an email for all people that live in the state of Georgia. So I have an in-state tag. So let me just, there we go. Where'd it go? In-state right here. Well, it keeps going away. In-state. So I'll select in-state, and then I also have a UGA tag. So I'll select everyone that went to UGA. And then I also want to select people, former coworkers. We can select that. And then I also have a tag that I would recommend you set up called All Contacts. As you're going through and you're setting up your database, by selecting an All Contacts tag, that allows you to easily add everybody at one time to your email listserv. So you can add as many contacts as you want here. Again, we have up to 2,000 contacts that we can send to. So I'm going to remind people how they signed up for the list. So here we just need to let them know that you interacted with, if I could, interacted with or requested real estate information from Nicholas Core. So just put something really simple like that in there, just to let people know that they've interacted with you, if they've requested information from you. It is required. You can't save your list without it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on Save List. And this is going to sync with MailChimp. Fingers crossed it works since I got that error message. So I'll click Save List. And what this is doing is syncing with the MailChimp system and uploading all of those contacts from my command into an audience in MailChimp. So we'll just give this a second to think. Hopefully it shouldn't take too long. And then I'll be able to show you in MailChimp how that audience shows up. Well, so far so good, because it's syncing. And I did use my all contacts tag, so there are a lot of email addresses for those to sync with MailChimp. All right, so something went wrong. I'm gonna try to save one more time and let's see how it goes. All right, so user does not have access to the requested operation. So that actually, I think, lets me know that the list saved. So I'm gonna come back to MailChimp right here, and I'm just gonna refresh the audience page. Perfect. It did create the July training newsletter. It doesn't show that any contacts have been updated yet because it does take some time to sync with the system. So let's see if I refresh. I'll come back here and double check it in just a minute. So now that's how you create your email list, contact list in MailChimp. So I'm going to come back to command. So for the sake of demonstration, we'll just leave this here. I'm going to click cancel because now, if I actually, let me just refresh this really fast. It should, the contact list should load. All right. July training, newsletter, event awareness, MailChimp, setup campaign. All right, so if I click on recipient list, the July training newsletter list shows up because the command system communicates with MailChimp and it pulls in that list. So I could just select that list. Doesn't have any recipients, so I guess it didn't properly connect. But for today's training, pretend that it did. I'll scroll down. We have our sender from, our email address, subject. And let's just do July. We said this is me back to school supply drive. Perfect. So now we have our subject. Now we need to actually create the email. We can create the email directly in command. And that's going to be the first way I show you, but we can actually also create it in MailChimp. So let's select design content for your email. There are two design templates for emails in command that are already created for you. So I'll walk you through both of those very quickly. So we'll click on newsletter style 1. And you can see over here on the left-hand side, we have a blank template with a bunch of headers and blank images for us to fill in. And then on the right-hand side, we have a bunch of places to input content. And that's how we just drag and drop all the information. So just double check and make sure all the information is good to go. So for the phone number, make sure it has the dashes, our app URL, license number, DBA logo, banner. So this is going to be our top banner here. So let's just start adding some images. So I'll just click on here to browse my images. I have a couple photos I can just pull right in. So I'll click open. Let's do wide. Crop image. And as you start adding the content, it'll automatically load over here in the left-hand side so you can see how everything renders. So I added my image and then large headline here. So let's say back to school supplies needed. Let's do July 2020. You can see it starts to automatically upload. So then we'll come to section 1, headline. What can you donate for our back to school supply drive? Actually, no, I'm going to move that here. Section headline, and I'll be like, let me edit here. School supplies needed. Brief description. And you just type in the information as kids head back to school, we need supplies. Can you donate any items to help kids this fall? And you see it starts to update there. And then we have a photo, so I can just click on this photo here. And I want to add something that's relevant. I'm just going to add some images that I quickly have on my computer, and then I can, this placement's a square placement, so I'm going to use the square cropping, but I could change that, so I'll just leave it as square and then click crop image. And that loads there. And it'd be the same thing for section 2. So you just kind of scroll down, and then we can make this headline 2 of supplies. Let's do needed supplies. Actually, what was my, let's do requested supplies. Teachers are requesting the following items for their classrooms. Then we say paper, rulers, pens, pencils, calculators. Oh. So you can see here, really simple. You just kind of come through here and fill in all the information. I can add another photo. I'll just add this image back again. I need to add some more to my database. And it's that simple. So you do section 3, section 4, and then you'd be good to go. So just kind of continue to fill in this information. Now, one thing I do want to point out is that you cannot edit this layout for the template. It is what it is. So it's going to be set up where it has these 4 different sections, and you're going to need to have information and images to fill each one of those sections. You can't delete section 4 if you wanted to. It's always going to show there. And then you can rename this if you wanted to. But let's say we don't really like this template. Let's go back to templates, and let's look at template or style number 2. So again, it's going to be very similar, but different. So you can see here, this is more of an image. Each section has an image, a headline, and some text, and a button. So we're going to need a lot of click-throughs here, and we're going to use this to send people to other places. So again, the same thing. We'll just quickly go through the information, double check everything is correct. And then we'll do email title, back to school supplies drive, help kids with the supplies they need for school. All right. And then section 1, supplies are needed. Can you donate any supplies to help kids this fall as they go back to school? So you can see how simple this is. You just type in the boxes and it shows up over here on the right-hand side. So we're going to add an image. It's a wide image, so I'm going to, when the image uploads, I'm going to select the wide dimensions and click crop image. And that shows up perfectly there. And then our button, donate, here we are. We can click on list. We can make the button name list of supplies. And then we can send this, www.amazon.com/Fulton County Schools. I don't know. I'm just making that up. So you can see here how all of this renders, and it's going to be the same thing for section 2 and section 3. And very similar to the other template, you're not able to edit the actual layout of the template. You just kind of fill in all the information over here on the right-hand side. So it's that simple. Just make sure everything looks good to go. And then if you like it, you can click Apply Design. But let's say, you know what, this just isn't the right fit for us. So I'm going to click X here. I'm going to come back to Content. I'm going to design my email. So here it shows we have style 1, style 2. We don't really like either of those. We can go to My Design Templates, and we can select one here. Actually, let's go back to Creator because we want to create an email template. So what we want to do, I'm going to save this as draft here, and let's create a new email template. So to do that, we're going to go to Designs. So click on Designs here. And then in the bottom right-hand corner, click on the plus sign. And then we're going to create a design, and we're going to select Email. And then click Next. And this is going to create, put us in the email editor, so we can just start to create our own email template as we want. So I'll just rename this July Email Template. And then we have all of these buttons and icons over here on the right-hand side, these widgets, very similar to the landing page editor that we have. So let's say on the top, we want to have, one section. So we'll just put a cell there. And I want to fill that in with that section. I want to put an image in there. Well, that doesn't seem right. So let's delete that. So let's come over here. Let's add an image. All right, so just uploading the image and click on that. Now, we'll have to go through and make a lot of edits because we're making a template here from scratch. So we'll just need to get everything so it loads properly. So I'm just going to continue to resize this until it looks good. All right, so that looks about normal. So we added our image there. Now we want to add a section here, and then we'll add some text in that section. So back to school supply drive. And then we'll want to edit this. So we'll click on the little editor icon over here. Typography, we want this to be center aligned. We want we can make the size of this here. Right. We come back over here. We want to make this bold. And then we can change, we don't want to change that. Let's see, if we font size, we can make it bigger here. Ooh. Perfect. And if we want to change the color, we can do that as well right here. We can make that red. Perfect. All right. Let's come back to our widgets right here. And then if we want to add, we can add a list of items. So we can add this list here. So we can add an image right here. So we'll click on image and put that right there. Now this is a little bit more intensive than using the pre-made templates, because we kind of have to go through here and update this all ourselves, and it is a little bit more cumbersome. So supplies needed. So you get the idea. So let's say I really like this template. I can click update template. Template was updated. Unsave changes. Yes, I would like to apply them. So if I come back to my campaigns, all right, come back to campaigns, click on emails. It'll show that I have this draft here. so we can edit campaigns. I'm going to come back here. And when I scroll down to select my content, I can click Update Design. Let's go back to templates, my design templates, and then my July email template. Perfect. And then you can see it just added that. Now it kind of looks like a mess because we were just kind of playing around with it. But I could change it. So I could click Update Design. And we'll go back. We'll just leave this as it is. So now everything is set up. So I can look at a preview here. And this is what my email blast is going to look like on the computer, on a tablet, and on a phone. I can send a test email, or I can click send. So I can send a test email, and that will send to just myself, nicholascore@kw.com. Let's click send test email. All right, so internal error occurred. Sometimes it happens. Now, we went through and we looked at the 2 different templates that Keller Williams RI have offered us within Command. And then we also tried to create our own template. And I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I'm not the most design creative individual, so my template doesn't look all that great. But we still have our free MailChimp account. And since we went through the process of creating our audience, we can actually send this email blast out directly from MailChimp. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So I'm going to come up here, come back to MailChimp. Let's see if it added any of our contacts yet. See, so when I refresh it, it shows I now have 907 contacts. So it just took a minute for Command and MailChimp to sync. Perfect. So now let's create an email blast directly out of MailChimp. So to get started, I'm going to go up to Create in the top left-hand corner and click on Email. And I'll give this campaign name. So this would be July School Supply Email. And click Begin. And now this is going to take me to fill in all of this information. So it's going to send it to all recipients that I've included. Just go through here and we'll edit all of the pieces of information. We'll also update the ad, so who it's from. So I click Save because I want it to come from myself. The subject, it's going to default to that training newsletter default subject that I had created when I was creating the audience list. But we'll update this to Back to School Supply Drive. And then preview text. And you donate any supplies to help children, help kids this fall. And then click Save. And then we'll go to content. So now we're going to actually design the email. So click on Design Email. And it's going to show us a bunch of layouts that we can use. Now, if you scroll over them, you'll see here are the featured ones. You click on it, it'll take us into that layout. Let's go back. Let's click Continue. Let's do edit. Let's edit this. Let's come back to our different templates that we have. I don't want to use that template. Oh, no. Switch templates. All right. So sorry, I'll click on Switch Template. So we get a handful of templates for free. So if I scroll over, you can see we can look at a preview of what it looks like. And so these are going to be all of the templates that we can use. And if I scroll over, you can see this one says upgrade to use, upgrade to use. So we're not able to use that. So really, we're only allowed to use these 2 in the featured, and then these 2 in the basic. So I want to come over here. Let's use this featured one to sell products. So just click on it, and we're about to switch templates. So I'm going to click Change Template. This system to me is much easier to use in terms of designing a template. So just kind of click on the different boxes, and then we will add in the information as needed. So we need to replace with our logo. So I'll click replace. So I've uploaded this, but I could upload a new image into MailChimp. So I could just click on upload here, and it would, allow me to upload from my computer. So I'll select Keller Williams First Atlanta and click insert. So perfect, so that is right there, but I wanna make this just a little bit smaller. We don't need that to be quite so big. And then click save and close for that section. So now I'll come down to this section right here. Time to design my email. Can you believe school starts next month? And then we're gonna start, kids need help gathering all the supplies they need to be successful at school. Can you donate some school supplies to help? And then you can go through here and you can add, whatever it is else you want to add. And let's say, we want to add an image here. We'll just come right here. We'll click on this widget and we'll drag that. We want to put that at the top of the email. So we want to upload an image. So we'll click on upload an image. I've already uploaded these images off my computer, so I'm just going to select them. But again, if you want to add a new one, click on upload here. So I'm going to click on the email or the image, and insert. And then I can edit this. So if I want to crop it a little bit, I can just click on edit. And we want to make this 16 by 9 because we want it to be wide. And then click save. And now it fits better in that space. So this obviously would be, a relevant image for back to school. And I can come down here. I can add a divider. Click save and close. We can change the color of this. Save and close. And now if we want to add another text box, we can add that here. Here is a list of items needed for schools. We'll make this just a little bit bigger. So we'll make size. Let's make this 18. Font. Make it Arial. Whatever. Oh, perfect. Oh, we have different headers over here. Even better. And then we can create a list. So we have backpacks, paper, pencils and pen, markers. Save and close. We can add another image. Actually, we could add an image group right here. So we can upload an image. I'm just going to select this one. I'm going to insert it, and I can select another image here. Insert. Let's edit this. Perfect. Let's do save. So now they fit. Now they look the same. So you can see how easy MailChimp is. You have a lot more options because you have these these widgets over here that are a lot easier to drag and drop. And then you could come down here and add another text box at the bottom. And you can make a signature. So I would do Nicholas Core, Keller Williams, First Atlanta, my email address, and my phone number. And then I can make my email address a link. So let's click on the link and then link to email address and then type in your email address here. Then click insert. Perfect. So now we have our email all set up. We have our logo there. We have our image, our text, our list, a couple images, and our signature. And I can click continue. Oh, it's saying to send your email when you're ready to change the email, look through the design tab. Oh. All right, so it's not letting me edit just yet. Let's see. It's probably because I still have some of this text is here. So we'll do text, 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 save and close. So hopefully by deleting that, give me continue. Perfect. So I deleted the placeholder text and now it allows me, I get a check mark. So I now know that, excuse me, my design is good to go. So if I wanted to send, I could click send. If I want to send a test email, I can click here and I can send a test email to myself. So I just type in my name, my email address at kw.com. And this will send a test email to my email account. So I can see what it looks like. So if I open up my email, let's do gmail.com. I need to switch accounts here. Perfect. So test back to school supply drive. Look safe. And this is what my email blast will look like to everyone that receives it. Any questions on how to send an email through MailChimp? All right. One final thing in MailChimp is that if you didn't want to send it right away, so let's say you want to send this email out tomorrow morning, you can click on schedule right here and you can change the delivery date. So I'll change this till tomorrow. And then I can set a time. I want this to send at 11:15 a.m. And I can click schedule campaign and it will send tomorrow morning. So that way you can go ahead and you can make your email blasts well in advance. Now, one thing I do want to call out, if you do use MailChimp to send your email blasts, you won't have all of the data in Command that you would have had you sent it out directly through Command. So in terms of who opened it, who unsubscribed, all of that data will be held in MailChimp versus in Command. So when you look at a contact's timeline, it won't show that a MailChimp email blast went out. You'll just have to know that you sent it. So that's the second way that we can send an email blast. There's another way that we can send an email. So we went through, we created our email list. We tried using a design from Command, which is the first way. We used MailChimp to design our email, which is the second way. And then the third way is actually very simple. We can create a one-time smart plan. So if you want, we can go into smart plans, which is going to be the fourth icon on the left. So click on smart plans. So let me click leave. And up here in the top right-hand corner, we have the ability to make our own smart plan. So to do that, just click on create and we'll give this a name. So this will be July back to school email. Now, one thing I want to point out about smart plans versus using either the HTML templates in Command or using MailChimp is that a smart plan email is going to be text-based. You can't create a beautiful image-heavy email with links and buttons like you can in those templates or in MailChimp. So here it's going to be really text-based. And the goal and the reason behind having smart plans being more text is because oftentimes those emails that come from MailChimp or that come as HTML emails get marked as spam. Just think, how many emails do you receive a day from every company you've ever ordered anything from online, or crazy companies that you don't even know how you're getting the emails? Those get marked as spam and you don't actually see them. And we want our emails that come out of Command to provide relevant, useful content for our contacts. So we don't want them to be marked as spam. And one of the most simple ways to do that is to have a text-based email, because then it doesn't look like it's a mass email. So we're going to create our smart plan here. So over here on the right-hand side, I'm going to click send email. And then I'm just going to walk through these steps. Now we're going to send a simple email. It does have HTML capabilities, but it's really limited. And I'll show you. These are prefabricated HTML email templates. So like this, I can show you a preview of the work with me from a seller perspective. So this is already put together. You can't change anything. So you more than likely wouldn't want to use this if you're sending out an email blast. So I'm just going to exit out of here, and you got home anniversary, promote app, birthday. So we don't want to use this. So we're going to go back. We're going to leave it a simple email, edit subject, back to school supply drive. And then we can come down here and we'll start typing our email. So I can say, hi. And then what's really great about about Smart Plans is that we have these things called merge fields. So right here where you see this F in between these two parentheses, merge fields allows us to automate information relevant to that contact without having to personalize each email. So I can select the merge field for contact first name and then just put a comma. So now when this email is sent out, rather than it saying hi contact first name, it's going to send to that contact. It's going to say hi, if I said it to myself, hi Nicholas, or hi Edward, or hi Samantha, or whoever the contact's name is. And then you just start typing your email. Can you believe school starts in 2 weeks? The summer has flown by. Can you donate any back to school items to help our kids be successful this fall? Below is a list of items needed. And I can click on this icon here, and then we can start adding a list. So we can type in backpack, pens and pencils, paper, markers. Yeah, whatever you want to include. So I'm going to just click. So now, let's say we want to kind of create another section, and it's a little bit different because this is going to be much more text than the other HTML emails that we have created. So here we will select let's do ways to donate, and then I can make another. We can use numbers here. So the first way to donate: drop off supplies at the Keller Williams First Atlanta office. Purchase from Amazon account. Link here. And then, I can highlight this and I can add in a link. So by clicking on this icon here, target link. So I'll just do www.amazon.com/Fulton County Schools, and then click add link. And now that's a hyperlink. And then Nick can pick them up. Scroll down. We really appreciate your help. And we'll do thank you, Nick. And then we want to add our signature because this isn't going to add a signature automatically. So we want people to have our contact information. Keller Williams, First Atlanta, at KW, and then my phone number. And then we can make this a hyperlink as well. So I can click on this, target nicholascore@kw.com, add link. Perfect. So now once I've gone through, everything looks great. I can click on the save button right there. Now, I know you're probably like, oh, can I add an image here? Unfortunately, you're not able to add any images within the smart plans. So it's going to be really basic, really simple. So once you've added that, so you saved it, everything looks good to go, I can start adding people to this email. So I'm going to click on this icon right here with a little person plus sign, and I'm going to add myself to it. So I will click on this. And I'm going to click add to smart plan. Now you can add as many people. Actually, let me go back. You can add individual people on here, or you can add tags. So if you click on tags, it'll show you all the custom and pre-made tags that you have. So you can click on, let's say I want to add everyone that likes the Atlanta Falcons, and it'll show me everyone that's an Atlanta Falcons fan. Or I can come, let's see. Let's say I want to send this to everyone that's a dog owner. This will show me all the people. So I have 90 people that are dog owners, and I can select all. So it's going to select the first 20, and then I can select the next 20. I can do it that way. So I want to hit cancel, and then I want to add myself because I want to show you how this renders in an email. So I'll click add to smart plan. Now we have two options here. We can start the plan immediately, but you may want to actually start and send it tomorrow. So, you know, if you're doing your work, you're setting everything up, you can set this up to start tomorrow. Now, this is going to be a one-time smart plan, so it's just going to be one email blast, and that's it. So I'll set this up to start. I can set it up to start tomorrow, and it'll probably it usually sends between business hours, so 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. But for today's training, I want to go ahead and I'm going to start now, and I'm going to click confirm. All right, I'm just sending an email, so I don't need to worry about Twilio, and I'm going to click confirm. Perfect. So it'll probably take a couple minutes for my smart plan to be approved, and when it is, I will have an email in here from Command. So let's give this a couple minutes to load. So that was the 3 ways on how to create an email blast. We kind of went through everything. There's a lot of information. We went through it pretty quickly. What questions do you have? What do you need to see anything again? Is there something I didn't show you that you would like to see? How can I help you? We have 10 more minutes left. What questions do you have? Feel free to unmute yourself, or you can use the chat box. Any questions?
Thank you, Nick. I'm going to practice on it, and I will either email you or check the YouTube if I have any questions.
Please, yeah, so as you're playing around with it, always feel free. You can send me an email, give me a call, send me a text message. I'm always here to help. And I always tell people, listen, I'd rather you just give me a call and say, hey, I'm having this issue, because it'll take us usually probably 3 or 4 minutes to walk through and resolve, rather than you trying to figure it out and stumble, and I don't want you to waste the whole afternoon. So always reach out to me. I'm going to post this video to the YouTube channel, and I will send it out with my weekly tech email that I'll send out tomorrow afternoon.
Okay, thanks so much.
Thank you. All right, well, if you guys don't have any other questions or don't need anything, I'll let you go. Have a great rest of your morning, and always, please don't hesitate to reach out. And if you have any ideas or something that you would love to see as a deep dive, send me a note, because I'll put it on the calendar, because ultimately I want to make sure that you guys are getting the most out of these trainings. So if there's a specific topic, I would love to teach on that. So thank you, and have a great rest of your morning.
You too now. Bye-bye.
Bye.